Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session of Spokane Public Schools Keep Learning series for literacy. Today's lesson is intended for all second graders or any other student who is interested in joining us. Welcome to our virtual classroom. My name is Peggy Eckloff, and I'm at Whitman Elementary in Spokane Schools, and I will be your teacher for this lesson. I am so glad you have decided to join me today. If you didn't see our previous lesson on Mr. Tanen's ties, you can find it on the KSPS website. However, you can still tune in to today's lesson even if you have not seen the previous one. Today, we will be asking and answering questions about key details in text, using inferencing and making predictions. For today's lesson, you will need 2 sheets of paper and something to write with. I will pause for about 10 seconds while you gather those materials. Do that now. Today, our focus for listening is to discover what Mr. Tanen does to help raise money for the playground. What do his actions tell us about him? As I read this story today, we will pause in several places so that we can create a graphic organizer together to help hold our awesome thinking. Let's read the story now. Mr. Tanen's tie trouble. Mr. Tanen loves being the principal of the Lyndhurst School. He also loves ties. In fact, he has almost 1,000 crazy ties. Wow, we already know something about the main character just from reading this first part of the story. So I would like for us to go to our graphic organizer and record that now. Do that with me. Let's look at our graphic organizer together. It says, how can helping others make you feel good? Use the chart below to write down text evidence from Mr. Tanen's tie trouble to remember your ideas. Now remember, you don't have to have this fancy sheet of paper. We're going to create an organizer together. On one side, it'll say evidence from text, and on the other side, it will say what this means. So I'm going to go to my clean sheet of paper, just like you, and I'm going to draw a capital T to make that T chart. Do that with me now. I'm going to go to my draw tool, and I'm going to make my capital T. Long horizontal line across, and long vertical line down. Over here, I'm going to write evidence. Oh, let me make that a little bigger so you can see it. I'm going to write evidence. One more time. Evidence, there it is, from text. And on this side, what does it mean? So my first evidence from the text that I want to include is that Mr. Tanen has 1,000 ties. So I'm going to write 1,000 with 3 zeros, ties, because I think that tells us something really important about this character. I think it's telling us that ties are really important to Mr. Tanen. So here I'm going to write ties are important to Mr. Tanen. And then I'm just going to scoot that over there to the side that it belongs on. So let's look at that again. Ties are important to Mr. Tanen. Now we're going to go back to our text and keep reading. Let's do that now. When Mr. Tanen returned from winter vacation, he received a call from Mr. Apple at the school department. Mr. Apple told him that because many things at the school had to be fixed, there wasn't enough money left for a new playground. Mr. Tanen sadly hung up the phone and gazed out at the broken-down playground. He heard a clink clank. He looked up to see Kaylee and Alex lugging in a big jar filled with money. Here it is, $148.29 for the playground fund, said Kaylee proudly. New playground, here we come, cheered Alex. Mr. Tanen didn't know what to say. After school, Mr. Tanen sat in his office staring at the jar. He sighed. Now I'm in a real pickle. This is not enough money for a playground. The kids will be so disappointed. Mr. Apple's words floated around in his head. The playground will have to wait. You'll think of something. I wish our account was as full as your tie closet. As full as my tie closet, repeated Mr. Tanen. He jumped up, opened his closet, and shouted, That's it, my ties. Lyndhurst School will have a new playground. So let's go ahead and record on our graphic organizer now. I think this is a key detail in the story when Mr. Tanen shouts, my ties. I think it's showing that he's willing to do something with the ties in order to help the students raise money for the playground. I'm not quite sure what that is. I can make a prediction, but I certainly want to record it on my graphic organizer. So here I'm going to write my ties, just like I saw it in the text, with all capital letters and an exclamation point. And I want to write that Mr. Tanen is willing to do something. He's willing to do something with those important ties in order to help the students. So let's go ahead and read to find out. The next day, the entire town was plastered with signs. Mr. Tannen's tie auction, Saturday at 7 p.m. at the Lyndhurst School. A tie for any occasion. All ties must go. Mrs. Sweetapple noticed the sign on the grocery store window. She called her husband, Mr. Apple. Why is Mr. Tanen selling all his ties? Has he gone crazy? Mr. Apple told her about the school budget and the playground money. The town was buzzing all day. Mrs. Sweetapple called Monsieur Bijou at the bakery, who called Cleo at the cleaners, who called Dr. Demi the dentist. It went on until even Zach, the night watchman at the zoo, got the word. Mr. Tanen is selling his ties. On Saturday, the whole town showed up for the auction. Mr. Bijou started the bidding. I'll give you $50 for the donut and Danish tie. Lolly, the librarian, bought the book tie. Dr. Demi was the proud owner of the toothbrush tie. Kaylee handed over her entire piggy bank for the hot dog tie. Mrs. Sweetapple just had to have the wedding bells tie, and of course, Mr. Apple chuckled as he paid quite a bit of cash for the crab apple tie. The auction was a huge success. Every tie was sold except one. Mr. Tanen couldn't part with his beloved blue ribbon tie. It was a present from Mr. Apple for being a great principal. He looked out at the sea of townspeople all wearing his ties. Thank you all. I have always taught my students, the more you give, the more you get. With this money, the Lyndhurst School will have a new playground. Mr. Tannen swallowed hard. My ties now belong to the town. Wear them proudly. And throughout the spring, that's just what everyone did. Let's think about that for a minute. Why do you think Mr. Tannen swallowed hard? I'm thinking maybe he feels sad about having given up all of his ties, even though he really wants to raise money for the Lyndhurst School playground. Let's read on. But sometimes Mr. Tannen would forget his closet was empty. He would open it to get a tie, and with a tinge of sadness, he would remember he only had one tie, and he was wearing it. Then he'd look outside at the playground being built. You have to give to get, he thought. I think this is important enough for us to record on our graphic organizer. So let's do that now. I think in this part of the story, we learn something about our main character, Mr. Tannen. He swallows hard. It says when he opens his tie closet, he has a little tinge of sadness. So let's record that now. I'm going to write swallowed hard on my evidence from the text. And what it means, I think it means that he feels sad. So I'm going to record that now. You do the same. Let's go back to our text. Soon it was opening day at the new playground. Mr. Tannen had invited the whole town to the ribbon-cutting ceremony. He tucked his speech in his pocket, grabbed his special scissors, and adjusted his tie. He wished he had on his official ribbon-cutting tie. The schoolyard was overflowing with people. Mr. Tannen made his way through the crowd. Then he saw it. The playground was tied in a giant ribbon made from Mr. Tannen's ties. Mrs. Sweetapple and Mr. Apple were at the microphone. Mr. Tannen, you have taught us all. The more you give, the more you get, said Mrs. Sweetapple. You have given us a playground. We are giving you back your ties. I think we need to record this on our graphic organizer because this is another significant part of our story. So let's do that now. I think in this part of the story, everyone is learning what it feels like to help others. So on this part, I want to record where the townspeople say, Mr. Tannen, you taught us all. And so I'm going to write taught us all. And remember in this story, Mr. Tannen keeps repeating, it's better to give, or you have to give in order to get. I think the townspeople learned a lot about giving to others. So let's record that. The people learned about helping others. Let's go back and finish our story. With that, Mr. Apple untied the ribbon and announced, Mr. Tannen's playground is now open. Mr. Tannen and his ties were together again. He slipped on his swing and slide tie and smiled. How do you think Mr. Tannen is feeling at the end of this story? Can we make an inference? In the text, it says that he smiled, and on the picture, I can see him smiling. So I'm thinking he feels pretty happy. I'm going to add that to my graphic organizer now. You do that with me. So let's add that to this part of our graphic organizer. I'm going to say Mr. Tannen feels happy. You can add the same to yours. So what do you think? Were you able to use inferencing and make predictions? I was able to infer that Mr. Tannen would somehow use his ties to help the Lyndhurst School raise money in order to build a new playground. But I did not predict that he would sell his ties. I thought they were pretty important to him. What did you predict? Now that we've organized all of our thinking and we've read our text together, let's go to our writing prompt. We'll do that now. So let's think about the story, and I'll model for you what the writing could look like in response to it. Let's look at our writing prompt. How can helping others make you feel good? Use your notes from the realistic fiction story that we just read and your own experiences to write your response. In the story, I think Mr. Tannen and the people from the town figured out that helping others makes you feel good. So I'm going to include that in my writing today. My personal connection is going to be about making these video lessons. So this is what mine would sound like. Like Mr. Tannen helping others makes me feel good. Many families are working hard, and these video lessons are a way that I can help. When I hear examples of what you are learning and writing, it makes me smile. Just like Mr. Tannen. So let me reread that. Like Mr. Tannen, helping others makes me feel good. Many families are working hard. And I see I have something here I need to fix. Many families are working hard, and these video lessons are a way that I can help. When I hear examples of what you are learning and writing, it makes me smile. Thank you, second graders, for working so hard. I'll see you next time.